they talk about runaway leaders, when they talk about people that have shifted the mindset of television, you're talking with Sitting with Stan. And today, my oh my, I think we are surrounded by the Rolls Royce of agents, plus an individual that sits in between, that makes sure that the players' rights are well represented in terms of the players' union. I'll just be wallpaper in the background. Well, Sir Stanley Screamer Shabalala takes charge of the situation here. President.
Yeah.
This season, Bob.
Yeah.
Hey.
We want to take football to another level, not by play.
Yes.
But these conversations of players' well-beings, how to invest, how do they look after their players as agents, they will tell us, because a reputable agent, Jazzman, they call him Jazzman Mahlakgane.
Yes.
Yeah, Jazzman. And then Mike Makaab also. The former coach of Orlando Pirates as well. Mm-hmm. He's now the agent. He has managed so many great players.
But you say he's a former Pirates coach.
Yes.
But former successful Pirates
former
coach.
Successful Pirates coach, but they ran away when they were playing 1995. I don't know what happened. But
he ran away?
Yeah, but I'm not sure. But he was not there. I'm not sure.
Were you interfering with his job?
No, I was not there.
No, because 94, he won the league.
Yeah, he won the league.
So the first coach to win a league
after so many years
in a democratic South Africa.
Yeah.
And also the first man to receive a FIFA license in terms of the kind of work that he does. Yes. So there's a lot of history that's here.
Yeah. But over and above, we have another Mr. Tshabalala.
Oh, this is a family show. This is family business. Show.
And I like what he's doing as well, because every time there's money issues, a player and the team, if there are money issues, he's forever jumping in. He's not scared.
No, he's very vocal though.
Yeah, to tell it like it is. Yeah, he's
vocal. He fights with everybody.
Yeah,
he's fought with me. This one. You must put him in the ring there. You must go.
I mean, the way he works is the way he was playing.
Yeah.
Because he was a central midfield.
Yeah.
The heart.
He's a bad cop.
Yeah.
Hard tackler.
But he also had a vision of passing.
Yes.
Yeah, he could pass the ball.
He killed players. First and foremost, he killed players.
I'm glad you said that, President, because everyone just knows people tackling. So at least you will get it pass. Get it sharp.
Yeah,
blind side. Yes.
Once in a while. Once in a while.
It was great when it happened.
By the way, who used to manage you?
Mr. Makaab. At a very early age, when I moved into Ajax from the under 15s, he was there looking after our interests.
So from the teenage days?
Yes, a lot of things that were introduced in football, it was through him, obviously with the guidance of the committee's leadership, because I think they were very easy on us as players and they were accessible. But from time to time, he would come. And for us, that was a big thing. Moving from a rural area, a township in Mbalenhle, Mpumalanga, to Cape Town, and you are meeting one of the best agents that you are told about. The chairman organizes, you sit with him. For us, it was really big. From the bus, 18 hours to Cape Town, within a month, you are having big discussions about your future. That's when we realized that I think we're in the business, and it was a pleasure and an honor.
Can you officially say thank you, Mr. Makaab?
Mr. Makaab?
Officially.
Yeah, well,
thank you.
I have to tell you that group of players that came from that Mpumalanga area, there was a famous academy there.
Yeah, it was a team. Remember FC.
Remember FC.
Yes.
And
how can you forget?
Remember.
You can never forget that.
Can't forget that.
But I can tell you that there was a group of players that came from that team that proved to be outstanding at a professional level, and humble, hardworking. And this was the big lights of Cape Town. And the way they made that adjustment is something that our youngsters of today should learn.
Learn from,
They understood that money would chase them. that they didn't have to chase money, and that the most important thing is that they focused their energies on being successful and dedicating their lives to the game. And the rest is history, because they were probably the most exciting group of youngsters to come out of South Africa.
So you were a teenager when you signed at Ajax, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So your first contract at Ajax with Mike Makaab as your agent, you were signing and you were earning what?
I was in the youth.
No, you're not answering the question.
I was 15.
But what were you signing the contract? What was written there? What was the bottom line?
Do I even remember? At that point in time, at that stage,
I just wanted to play
I
football.
was sitting with the great Mike Makaab, and he's the man that will give you opportunities. He's the man that will look after your interests. And that's what you wanted. And you were told by your boss that this is the right person. So what we signed, it was in confidence and trusting the word of the chairman. At 14, 15, we could not understand the contents of the contract. I don't even think I read past 3 lines, but I knew that I was safe there.
The legal stuff was
Which
a
is
mess.
an error that you can't make when you are much older. Yes.
So when you
indeed.
signed then as a professional?
When I signed as a professional, then we had a contract, that a renewal with him, and they negotiated my first contract. But it was standard anyway.
Which was what?
Which is 3,000 rands when you sign, or 2,500 rands. My first salary when I was 18 at Ajax, I started on 2.5, and that is in 2003. End of August. It was the first time in Tolaboma, 4,900 and something. It takes I'm like, I've arrived. This is it. You know? And I still remember with that money, I went and bought an amplifier, a Futronic, which I still have the speakers even today, because the surround sound they stole, they break changing rooms as well. But yes, those are memorable moments. And we had to learn. And growing and moving forward, I had to analyze things differently and check where I am and if I'm capable or comfortable enough to engage and say what I want. Because I believe I'm an individual that always knew what I wanted. Even in the house, in the youth, where we stayed with the guardians, I was a big problem. They called me an activist and a problem there.
You were a problem from
I
that
didn't
time.
accept anything wrong, Rob.
This man has
I wasn't a
long time
problem. I
ago.
was just vocal about what I thought.
You should have been with Sasko and Kosas and what.
I just love football, Rob. That is it.
But I'm glad though, and the reason why I asked for the context of the amount, you'll get to understand later on, because it sounds like the Shabalalas are running the world. Buzi represented one of the most famous Shabalala as well in the country, the scorer of the first goal for Bafana in the World Cup against Mexico. But he runs you run a tight ship, a very small.
I call it a boutique.
Yeah, okay, sorry.
Tight ship, boutique. Firstly, let me also take the opportunity to thank you, Rob and Brastem. You know, the interesting thing about how my journey started was it was a mix of the band sitting here and Brastem. Brastem had one of the best man management skills as a coach. And I've seen Mike do the same as a coach, then moving into getting big players. So I learned through people that were in the front, So I think based on that, but then I modeled my concept such that I don't have too many of them, because too many of them I won't know where they are, what they do, and understanding where I came from. The background of black families is such that one player could be feeding 20 mouths. So which means, if I have to have 100 of them, I've got 2,000 people to look after, so I can't. And I think that is the base on which I started this, what you call it, tight. I just called it a boutique. And I think that boutique produced, and I managed to, to look after certain individuals who.
But let's not be scared to name, because I think the people that are watching would be amazed, because a lot of the players that he represents, not only are they famous, not only are they successful, not only do they carry the best in terms of endorsement packages, I think they're the creme de la creme. So let's name them. Skiwe Shabalala. Happy Jale.
Mshishi,
Tshabalala. Yes.
And TNT. You can name all of them.
But also Khune.
Khune was with me at some point before. Before we went for some project.
And it's an interesting story though, because with Khune, and you'd remember.
In fact, I must say this because that's important. The reason why I wanted to bring that element at the end is that Rob gives me a call. He says, "Listen, there's this boy at Chiefs, who's I think he's got a big potential." And I say, "Rob, my system is such that I don't just take players. There's a system that I use. I have to like you first.
Yes.
I must like you because I have to use my money to phone you.
Yes.
You know, I have to be in your space all the time. I must see your family. I must all these things that just can't happen because of money. I have to feel good around you.
Right.
So I then took a chance. Rob gave me the number. Then I called him. Then we met, and and at the time I think I remember Kuna used to earn 20 grand at the time when I took him over. And the first contract he went straight into 150,000. I think and then we went into other numbers from there. But I think what was key for me was when I sat with him, I said, so what do you want? Why do you see yourself?
Yeah.
And then he said all these things, whatever. And I said, I think based on what I've already seen, you deserve, this and that. And I think, of course, the endorsement came as a result of, the work that was put in. But let me go back. I think that is almost like the end of the story. I think the beginning of the story is that running this kind of a system, you have to have the rules. There's only one man in that house, and that's me. And my way or highway. And that's the only way that these guys are going to thrive. Because if everybody does the way they want to, you don't want to get much results out of these guys. And we know, the difference between when you've got hangers around them, you've got friends around them, you've got families, you've got aunties who resurfaces in between, you've got girlfriends. Yeah. So that needs a very tight rope stem man to run this ship. So and from that point on, I think that the diamonds were produced because then it was a question of, listen, this is the only way to do this. This is the only way I know you're gonna make it.
Because they were managing.
Absolutely, but also managed in a iron fist kind of a way. Because remember, also Rob talks about the endorsements. Right. If I sign a deal with Coca-Cola, for example, I've already promised the director of Coca-Cola that this guy will show up when they need him for shoot. Yeah. And if he doesn't show up, it's my word and it's my reputation on the line. So everything has to be tight. But and thank God it happened.
This my way or the highway offends me a bit in what I do. And I think this is one of the issues that we have differed with Jazzman when it comes to the role of a player and how we see it and the role of an agent. What then forms this relationship? But who is who within this? Because a lot of times players think that they work for the agent. And I don't agree with that. A player is a product, an agent works for the player. And this is where...
I don't agree. I'm happy actually today we can clean this thing up. We will. Working for someone, Rob, maybe I must educate Nhlanhla. When someone works for someone...
Put up with it.
I'm saying, when someone works for someone, I must have a contract with you of employment. Yeah. You pay me a salary. You pay me my bonuses.
You are rendering a service.
No, but I know, but we'll come to working for. Rendering service, we can always teach educate the viewers. But let's talk about working for. Because when you start saying to someone, you work for someone, you might be giving players a wrong information. They end up thinking that they're actually the bosses of the agents, which is not true.
No, they are.
I think I will unpack
it. Give me the reason why that is a major part of your disagreement.
Robert, football is us.
Yeah.
And we are football. I think it goes to the question of what came first, the chicken or the egg. It will take us days to be able to unpack this. But for me, as my view as a player, I play. I'm a good player. I might not have communication skills. I might not have the courage to engage with the club chairman and disagree on things because I feel it might sour the relations that I have with him, depending on how open-minded and confident you are as a player. An agent then is a link between that in making sure that you get what is required.